You know that there is a new law being proposed in Arizona that would require you to carry identification with you, even if you are a passenger in a car. Now, that may not come as a surprise to some people. In fact, it may seem perfectly normal that you should carry your papers with you everywhere you go, so that anytime you get stopped by anybody, whether you're at a checkpoint or whether you're just being, minding your own business, walking down the street, that someone can just say, "Papers, please," and okay, here you go. If that doesn't alarm you, that now somebody just riding in the car is going to have to provide proof of who they are or who they say they are. Why? Well, of course, the justification by Mr. Kern, who's the representative who's proposing this, is because police officers need to know who they're talking to. Okay, I understand your reasoning, but it's flawed. And here's why. You see, if you are in a position where you're going up and you're stopping people for whatever kind of infraction, you should expect that whoever it is that you're stopping is going to be a little defensive, because they don't know why you're stopping them, most likely. There are so many laws now on the books allowing people to be charged with something for doing nothing. For instance, you can be arrested for resisting arrest. Officer says, "Come with me." You say, "I don't want to." Boom, you're resisting arrest. You can be arrested. When I was a kid, I remember growing up with the fear of the Soviet Union, the Eastern Bloc countries over there, North Korea, China. And one of the big tenets of this is how we know we're free is that we don't have to carry our papers to prove anything. And they would tell us stories about Nazi Germany or about how life is like in Moscow and the Kremlin and the KGB running around. You must show your papers. What have we come to? I've actually seen it happen here in Fairbanks, where a person who cannot prove that they are who they say they are gets charged with lying to a police officer. I'm totally at a loss here, because some people, in their rush to try to find security, are willing to give up every single one of their freedoms. If you want complete security, go to jail. You will find it completely secure. And, well, of course, you can still be murdered by the other inmates or beaten to death by a guard. But really, that's what it's coming to. I remember when I was serving in Bosnia for an entire year, the regular troops were not allowed to leave the base for any reason. You couldn't go over there to the coffee shop and try the tasty local coffee. You couldn't go down the street to the bakery and have a sample of the wares there. I could, because I was in a counterintelligence team. We got special privileges because it was part of our job. And I'm looking at these other guys who can never leave the base. And I'm like, dude, you're a prisoner here. And I'm looking at what's happening to my own country now. And I realize that more and more and more, we are becoming prisoners. I don't know. Some people are going, "Oh, you're like Alex Jones. It's a prison planet." Well, to a certain degree, I guess maybe it is. But if this law passes in Arizona and people just say, "Yeah, it's keeping us safe," then we're just one step away from having random stops in the streets. You see, here's the thing. If you have to identify yourself, if you have to produce some form of identification, regardless of whether you're driving or not, you're just riding in the car, then certain people might be excluded from getting IDs. It's happened before in history, and it's going to happen again. It looks like it's happening here. These are my thoughts. I'd like to engage you on this. Send me an email, steve@radiofreespeech.com. You like what I'm doing? You want to support me either through Patreon or by buying a direct subscription at my website, radiofreespeech.com. That would be greatly appreciated.